right, so we're going to look at a couple of vocabulary words for this week. There's really not that many of them. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is necessary. 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 What do you think necessary means? Jody? Okay, when a parent says that's not necessary, well, what does that mean when they're saying that's not necessary? You throwing your food is not necessary. It's not what? It's uncalled for. It's not needed. We don't need to do that. If something isn't necessary, it's needed, and you can't do without it. So unnecessary is not needed. Necessary is something that is needed. Yep, so eating a well-balanced meal is necessary for growing and maintaining a strong and healthy body. Jody and Zamir, y'all need to go to Miss Court. It's 8 o'clock. All right, next word. Unsurpassed. 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 What do you think unsurpassed means?
Pretty.
What?
Pretty.
Maybe pretty? Okay, let me read you the sentence. The experience was unsurpassed, and I will never have another like it. What? There's nothing like it. There's nothing better. They're not going to experience anything better than what they just experienced. There's nothing better.
It has the word past in it, so it's like nothing past it.
And un means what?
No.
Not. All right. All right, next word. We have stir. Stir. Not like stir a pot.
When everything is loud and we're all causing commotion.
Okay. If you cause a stir, you will be asked to leave. If you cause a stir, you will be asked to leave.
Make a ruckus.
Stir. If you cause a stir, you create a strong feeling such as excitement or shock. A stir. If you're getting stir crazy, then that means you are tired of doing the same thing. All right, next word, extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Is this extraordinary?
What?
Is there a difference between extraordinary and extraordinary, or is it the same thing, just sounded different?
Extraordinary and extraordinary. Hold on, I'm trying to think. No, I think it's the same. Yeah, it's just how you say it, I guess. All right, let me read the sentence. I am an extraordinarily strong swimmer. I'm an extraordinarily strong swimmer.
Great.
If something is done extraordinarily, it is very unusual or remarkable in some ways. It is very unusual or remarkable in some ways. Next word, cruising. Cruising.
Like gliding? Maybe. Taking a run?
Sebastian?
Taking a run?
What, Sebastian?
Taking a run.
Okay, maybe taking a ride. It says, we are cruising around the lake in our canoe. We are traveling in a boat for fun. If you're cruising, you're traveling in a boat for fun. And then last one, we have plunges. Plunges. Not plunges like plunge the toilet.
Water. Like water's a lot of water.
All right, let me read you the sentence. It says, the mountain river plunges to the rock below, creating a beautiful waterfall. The mountain river plunges to the rocks below.
Like a water flow.
Okay, not really like a water flow, but what's happening to the water. If I say, hey, Alex, plunge me that ball. That's what I thought. It means throw. It means to, if something plunges into something, it falls or is thrown in that direction. The water was plunged down the waterfall. It crashed down the waterfall. It fell. If you have your head down, you need to bring it up. All right, so we are going to be looking at visualizing the story. When we visualize a story, we use what? What do we use?
We think about the story.
Okay, yes, we think about it, but when you think visualize, if I say I want you to visualize the castle at Disney,
You like have a picture in your head.
you're making a picture in your head. You're making a visualization. So if we're visualizing it, we're using our sight, our smell, our hear, what we taste, what we feel. You're creating a picture as you read. When you're reading poetry, that is all that it is you're creating a picture as you read. Okay? All right, everybody needs to open up your book to page 358, please. 358.
I
358.
don't know if it's up early or if it's late.
What?
I said I don't know if it's because I woke up early or if it's raining because I'm really tired.
Me too, girl. Me too.
And usually I'm all
All right, let's open up our book to page 358, please. Yes, Amari. Okay. You just watch on the screen then.
Me too. Me too.
You don't take your books home.
I bring it tomorrow. I mean Thursday.
Bring me your book back. Guys, we have to remember our books. We have to. It's not doing you any good if you don't have it. No, we don't. Those aren't the right books. All right, so let's look at the genre. Genre is poetry. It uses sounds and rhythms of words to show images and express feelings. Poems may be written in one of several styles, such as lyric, acrostic, concrete, or narrative. I don't know why I said that weird. Poets often use figurative language such as similes and metaphors. Poets might organize a poem into stanzas, a series of lines grouped together. Each stanza builds upon what is described in the previous stanza.
I don't know what stanza means.
What did we say it was on Friday?
I don't know.
It's a paragraph.
I don't remember what we did on Friday.
That's okay. I don't either. It's a paragraph. A stanza is a paragraph in a poem.
Okay.
All right, y'all need to sit your heads up, please. You need to get your books out. There's no reason I should not see books on tables. Y'all killing me. All right, so let's think about the title. The title is The Art of Poetry. What form of poetry have you read before? And what forms do you think you will read? Write your ideas below. Just because you don't have your book doesn't mean you're sitting there with your head down all day. You're going to have to wake up. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. You sure you ain't got it in your book now? Did you double check? Double, triple check? I'm about to burn up. Don't draw on my desk. I'm not talking to you. All right, so what are some poems that you have read before? Gabby?
In kindergarten, in my class, I read Dr. Seuss books.
Okay, Dr. Seuss books are a poem. Some of them are poems because they have those rhyming words in it. All right. What other poems have we read or seen? We did one last week. Chris?
Thunder.
The what?
Thunder.
Thunder. Very good. So, remember, lyrics are just poems. A lyrical poem is just a poem. Yes, Alex? Yes, Humpty Dumpty is a poem. A nursery rhyme / poem.
Speeches sometimes are islands.
All right, so we're going to read for understanding today. So we need to turn over to page 360. And we're looking at our first poem. Our first poem is an acrostic poem.
Oh, what?
It is an acrostic poem. A-C-R-O, acrostic. Right there. Right beside lyric. Right there. An acrostic poem. You've probably done these before. If you've had to explain yourself using the letters of your name, this is an acrostic poem. So, the title of this poem is Necessary Gardens. And then you have language is I guess it'd be Necessary Gardens Language is the title. And then here's the actual poem. Libraries are necessary gardens, unsurpassed at growing excitement. That's a poem.
What?
Yeah. Libraries are necessary gardens, unsurpassed at growing excitement. What do gardens and libraries have? What do gardens do? They grow stuff. They give you what?
Food.
They give you food. Okay, what does a library do?
Give you books.
Gives you knowledge. Gives you knowledge. Very good.
So is this poem supposed to be like giving you information? Or
No, it's just a fun way of writing. Like we could do a poem about our name or about ourselves with just our name. So if I wanted to talk about myself, say just using, let me get a piece of paper. It'll be easier. So if I wanted to use characteristics of myself in a poem, and I just wanted to use, I guess I'll use my last name since I'm supposed to. I could say, all right, so give me a characteristic that starts with a P. I would probably say patient. And fun. Yes, Jada.
I need to go to the nurse.
Why? She's not here. What's wrong?
My throat is being itchy.
Okay. Excited. Alright, let's see.
Influential, like you can give people information.
interesting?
Interesting.
No, entertaining.
Entertaining would be an E. We can do that down here. Interesting. Okay. Alright, what's another adjective to describe me? Fun. I've already got fun up here. I'm going to do fabulous. Fabulous. Fantastic. What did we want to say? Entertaining? Entertaining. It's not a good one, then I don't want it. Because that means you're describing me as that. A what? A rapper. That's right. I'm a rapper.
For one of the F's, we should have put one of our old vocabularies.
So patient, fun, exciting, interesting, fabulous, fantastic, entertaining, and rapper. So that would be an acrostic poem. Acrostic poem. So it's just, it all kind of lines up. Okay? All right, now let's look at the next poem. Let's go to the next page.
After lunch, can we make one of those?
We'll see. All right, here we go. We're going to be reading rapper. Because, you know, I'm a rapper. Oh, okay. Oh, what was this you just did? Is that you
That's
whipping or what?
16
Okay. All right, cool kid. Put your mask on, please. All right, here we go. Next poem. Eating alphabet soup. My advice to this tablespoon slurper, beware what you do with that scoop. The capitals, sir, can cause quite a stir in a bowlful of alphabet soup. While K, Z, and B do the backstroke across this hot, steamy lagoon, the fun-loving vowels may want tiny towels to dry themselves off on the spoon. But when letters go swimming together in sentences nothing can beat, the pleasure of reading the food that you're eating, so dive in and bon appetit. That's a cool poem. I like that one. All right, so what can we visualize? What can we visualize whenever we read the first stanza? My advice to the tablespoon slurper, beware what you do with that spoon. The capital sir can cause quite a stir in a bowlful of alphabet soup. What are you visualizing? I visualize a slurping sound. When you're all right, the tablespoon slurper, a spoon is a tablespoon. That's the measure of a spoon. So a tablespoon slurper. Beware of what do you with that scoop? Beware of what you do with that scoop. Yes. The capital sir can cause quite a stir in a bowlful of alphabet soup. All right, so what else can we picture, visualize?
Alphabet soup.
All right, we got alphabet soup. All right, what else can we visualize?
Spaghetti.
Okay.
Spaghetti. I know it might sound weird, but I picture like this squishy pasta.
Okay.
Spaghetti.
I visualize kind of a spoon going into a bowl full of letters.
I visualize hot. I visualize hot alphabet soup.
Okay, so can you, all right, if you think about it, you visualize SpaghettiOs, all right, in your mind, can you smell it? I mean, we can't literally smell it, but when you think of alphabet soup, you're going to think of the tomato base of the soup. You can see the letters. You can hear the slurping of the spoon or the splashing of the spoon as it goes into the soup, or the dripping as the letters fall off the spoon. I just smell tomato soup right now. That's my visualization. And I can just see a bowl of steaming hot smoke coming off of it. How does the illustration help you to understand the poem? How does the illustration help you to understand the poem?
Well, if it's telling about alphabet soup, it probably wanted to have like a dripping alphabet soup in a man bowl. From a bowl.
Alright, so the illustration obviously gives us an illustration of alphabet soup, of somebody eating alphabet soup.
In the tablespoon.
In the tablespoon. So now when you go home, you can sit there and say, a spoon is a tablespoon. It is.
There's different sizes. Yeah. Have the big one down.
Yes. Alright, let's go on to the next poem. So that was just let me go back to my poems here. Let me make sure. I think that's a narrative poem or a concrete.
Why are they blue?
Alright, looking at this next poem. The Big World Girl. It says, of all the clever girls I know, Elaine's the one who counts. But what she counts are syllables and words I can't pronounce. I took her to a horror show, Godzilla meets Tooth Fairy, but she could not unglue her eyes from Webster's dictionary. She put her trembling hand in mine, Godzilla smashed the floor, for she had come across a word that she's never seen before. But when the light came on, Elaine was sound asleep and snoring. I woke her up, she yawned and said, how uncustomarily, extraordinarily, incomprehensibly boring. All right, let me read it again. So let's take it stanza by stanza. Of all the clever girls I know, Elaine's the one who counts. But what she counts are syllables and words I can't pronounce. All right, what do you think that stanza is about? She's smart. She counts syllables, she's smart. But she also is reading what kind of word? Big words, not scary words. It has nothing to do with scary things. It says, I took her to a horror show, Godzilla meets Tooth Fairy, but she could not unglue her eyes from Webster's dictionary. So did she pay attention to the movie? No. But she put her trembling hand in mine, Godzilla smashed the floor, for she had come across the word she'd never seen before. So, was she scared about the movie? No, she was scared because what? She came across a word that she did not know. But when the lights came on, Elaine was sound asleep and snoring. I woke her up. She yawned and said, how uncustomarily, extraordinarily, incomprehensibly boring. So, what type of poem is this?
A big word poem.
No. Syllable.
What do we say? Not syllable. Is it telling a story? Yes, so it is a narrative poem. It's a narrative poem, like a narrative story. A narrative nonfiction story is a true story. So it's a narrative poem. Who is speaking? The friend, the parent, the sibling. It's not Elaine. All right. How does the speaker feel about Elaine? Yeah, she's extremely clever and super smart. That she can read words that the speaker can't even pronounce. Very good. All right, next one. Here we go. Next one, it's called Balloon. When it's first slipping out of my hand, I was sad to see my balloon floating away. But as it rose higher in the sky, I imagined it landing in some faraway yard, where a kid like me would find it and wonder how far the balloon had flown and who held it last, and that thought made me smile. Now, that is a type of, go back to my beginning. Is that a lyrical poem? Is that a song? No, that is not a song. Is it an acrostic? Is it one that has a letter at the front and no? Is it a narrative? Is it telling a story? No, it is called a concrete poem. Concrete poems can be written in any type of way. They made it because it was about a balloon. They made the words in the shape of a balloon. So, how do the speaker feel? How do the speaker's feelings change about letting go of the balloon? He was sad at first, but then what? Put your chair right. Benjamin, sit up. Amari, sit up. Ella, sit up, please. All right, he becomes happy because then he thinks about where it's going. All right, next poem. The Arrow and the Song. It says, I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to the earth. I knew not where. For so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. I breathed a song into the air. It fell to earth, I knew not where. For who has sight so keen and strong that it can follow the flight of song? Long, long after, in an oak, I found the arrow still unbroke. And the song from beginning to end I found again in the heart of a friend. Where does the arrow land?
In an oak tree.
In an oak tree. What condition is it in? It's still unbroken. What is it carrying?
A song.
A song. For a second there, I thought you were reading my page. You're so smart. You're so smart. All right, here we go. Next poem. On page 368. All right, Better Fun is the title. Cruising this river on a rubber boat at full speed, bumping our way to the base of the thundering falls, to end up completely slapped and drenched by the cool river water, beat by far an amusement park attraction. What do you notice about the poems on page 368 and 369? What do you notice, Kalani? What do you notice about the two poems? One's in English and one is in Spanish. The poems, they're both the same poems, but they're written in two different languages. You got a question? Oh. What? Because it's written by the same person. Why do you think the poem does this? So other people with other languages can read it as well.
But they didn't do it with the other ones.
Well, that was just this poem, you know? Not really. All poems can be in multiple languages, but this one that's one of the clues they wanted you to see. All right. It says, what are the children in the poem doing?
They're riding a rubber boat.
Did you say a rubber ducky?
A
A boat. They're rafting in a river at the base of a fall. I was like, a rubber ducky? What are we thinking here? All right, and then our last poem. It says, quiet water. Water before it plunges down a waterfall is as still as a mirror facing the sky. So this one also has an English version and a Spanish version. All right, we are going to answer the 3 questions on page 371, our collaborative discussion questions. If you don't have your book, you need to do it on a piece of paper. So if you don't have your book, you need to read the questions from, let me read all the questions, and then you guys are going to do it independently. It says, reread the poem, The Big Word Girl, on page 365. What are some ways that Elaine is unusual? Number 2, review the poem, Better Fun, on page 368. What images do the author's words create in your mind? And then number 3, which poem made you think of something in a new way? Explain. So if you don't have your reading book, you need to get a piece of paper out. If you have your reading book, you need to open page 371. We're doing numbers 1 through 3 in your book. Come on. Elaine is unusual. All right, so what are some ways that Elaine is unusual?
She's smart.
Okay, but does that make her unusual? Remember, unusual means not like the others, kind of different.
She's unusual because she can pronounce and read words that not a lot of people can.
All right, she reads big words. She counts syllables, reads big words, and words that the speaker can't pronounce. All right, what else does she do that's weird? Gabriel.
She's not scared.
What?
She's not scared.
She's not scared. What else does she do, Sebastian?
Going to the movie theater and not watching the movie.
She went to the movie theater, and what'd she do?
Read.
She read the dictionary the whole time. What? That's unusual. All right, number 2, review the poem Better Fun on page 368. What images do the author's words create in your mind? Okay, kids, people on a boat.
Me swimming at a lake.
You swimming at a lake. Okay, Sebastian. All right. A group of kids going across a river in a raft. Rafts are bumpy back and forth. The water hits them or soaks them in the face. Hear sounds of waterfalls and screams of laughter and excitement coming from the kids. All right, and number 3, which poem made you think of something in a new way?
I think the quiet one. Because
Okay. Oh, the quiet one about the water being like glass?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's explaining about like still water and usually it's like the tiny things that no one really pays attention.
Right, right. Very good. Yep. Poem that made me really think is the alphabet soup one. You don't really think specifically about the letters when you're eating alphabet soup.
Yeah, I always spell my name.
You always try to spell your name? Very cool. All right, we're going to do some science. Real world science. All right, so today we're going to, last week we talked about various traits that animals have. Animals have certain traits that help them to survive. All right, so, but are these traits, are they learned or inherited? Inherited. Some traits are inherited, some are learned. And I have brown hair. My dad and my mom both have brown hair. Is that an inherited trait or is that a learned trait? Inherited. It was passed down to me. Okay? My good looks were passed down from my family too. My personality and my smarts is something that is learned. So now we're going to look at how animals adapt to survive. When they adapt, if I say you adapt to something, you are having to
Get used to it.
not really get used to, but you're having to change or morph into something to help you survive. So we're going to look at different ways that animals adapt to survive. Let's see if I think I can do it this way. All right, so all right, it says adapt to survive, how animals stay alive. Hold on, let me do this.
That's a weird title. Really?
All right. Let me get in front of the camera here. It's gonna be like a.
You.
All right, here we go. Adapt to survive. Let's see if I can get this place in that. If I can go there, I have to go there. All right. All right. It says investigate survival. It says life can be tough. Earth plants and animals need to cope with the climate of their homes. Animals need to find food. They need to have babies, and sometimes they need to get away from danger. How do they survive?
By eating other animals. Building or
Think about change. The habitat of plants and animals are always changing. Please stop talking while I'm trying to teach. That's very rude. I hear him, but I don't see him. Alex, get in your seat, please. Oh, okay. Some kinds of plants and animals have been on Earth for a very long time. They have adapted to changes. Other kinds of plants and animals have died out. Why? It says, look at these animals. Which one has survived and which one has died? The dinosaur has died and the alligator has survived.
And isn't an alligator basically a dinosaur?
It has traits of a dinosaur, yes. It says, look at these animals. Which one might be better at adapting to changes? We have looks like a chinchilla maybe, and a panda. Which one would be better at adapting to change?
The panda bear.
Maybe the panda bear. It says the first turtles lived millions of years ago. Today, sea turtles are in danger of dying out. Because people keep plastics and stuff. Alright. Alright. I'll wait. There are many cycles and seasons in nature. Living things live outside. They live in heat and cold, dryness and rain, darkness and daylight. Sometimes there's a lot of food. Sometimes food is hard to find. How do plants and animals stay alive through the seasons? Winter is often a time when animals have little food. Some animals, such as snow geese, migrate to warmer homes in winter. Other animals hibernate. Some trees change with the seasons. They drop their leaves in autumn and they grow flowers in spring. Like I'm teaching kindergarten all over again. It says, think about survival. Plants and animals have many different ways of staying alive. Sometimes their body features help them survive. Sometimes their actions help them survive. Look at the chart to compare the way animals survive. All right, so looking at animal actions. So some animals, they hibernate or migrate. The purpose is to to survive changing seasons or cycles. Hibernation helps animals shelter from cold, hide from enemies, and be close to stored food. Migration means to move, helps animals such as monarch butterflies find a warmer place to live in winter. And then if they use their body features, their example, feathers, fur, thick layers of fat, scaly skin, and humps. The purpose is to help keep animals such as penguins warm in winter so they survive the cold. It helps desert animals cope with heat and lack of water. Camouflage. Animals is similar color or similar markings to its surrounding. Helps animals such as octopus blend into their environment. Gross defense. The example of that is bad smells, vomit, poisonous foam. It makes enemies go away. Many of these animals also have warning colors or bold markings that stand out. So like a skunk has a gross defense. They spray you if they feel threatened. Animal armor, such as horns, antlers, tusks, spines, bony plates. The purpose is good for fighting, showing strength, digging, carrying loads, can make an animal look bigger, scarier, stronger, and protect their soft body. And then animal groups such as herds, colonies, flocks, schools, and swarms. The purpose of this type of survival is it's a group of animals is safer and stronger than one animal alone. Animals can move around more safely and take turns eating and sleeping. They can work together to protect their babies. All right, so, wait, 1, 2 minutes. So, our super survivors. What makes different plants and animals good at staying alive? Harsh habitats. Some animals have adapted to living in Earth's harshest homes. Their bodies are made to cope with very hot, very cold, very deep, or very dark places. Moles live under the ground. They have long claws for digging. Highs and lows. Camels can live in hot and dry desert. They store fat in their humps. The fat can be broken down into water when there is none. A warm coat of feathers and a layer of body fat helps penguins stay alive in their icy homes. Camouflage, hide and seek. Some animals hunt other animals for food. Some predators hide to hunt. Some prey hide to stay safe. Sometimes camouflage helps predators and prey survive. An octopus can change its color, shape, and even the feel of its skin to hide and hunt. That's an octopus right there.
You can't even see it unless you see the eyes.
Camouflage. Can you spot the hidden animals? How do their features help them blend
A little bit.
or pretend? So we have a leaf bug right here. Looks like a leaf. We have a seahorse.
Looks like a burrito.
We have what looks like a type of grasshopper, praying mantis, and then we have a type of looks like a salamander right here.
I actually see
See it? Don't mess with me. So some animals have bold markings that shout out a warning. They don't blend into their habitat. Their markings tell predators to go away. Most predators will get too close to a skunk only once. A skunk defends itself with a smelly, stinging liquid. It says many insects have bold markings to trick predators. It says a red fire-bellied newt shows its red belly to scare the predator. Poison oozes from its skin. Fit for fighting. Some animals have special body parts such as horns or antlers to fight predators or to show who is boss. Other animals have sharp spines or bony plates to keep them safe. It says deers are the only animals that have antlers. Male deers use their antlers to fight. It says body armor. Armadillos have bony plates such as Some armadillos could roll into a ball to stay safe. They have a bony plate too. They can hide, but what do they do when they get scared? They hide in their shell. They get in their shell. Yes, Nathan. Can what? Can fish jump?
No. Fish can jump. No.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, they can
I am not a, what's that called? A
Well, they can drown or air.
marine biologist. All right, next thing. Great groups. Plant-eating animals are food for hungry predators. Herds of plant eaters live in wide open grasslands. There's no place to hide. Living in a group helps these animals stay alive. Groups of female elephants and their babies live in herds. The herds help their babies keep babies safe. It says, what kind of animals live in groups? How do big numbers help? Why do you think these animal groups are sharing space? Why do you think these animal groups right here are sharing space? Well, I'm working on it here. Why do these animals specifically share space? They're not each other's predators or prey. They all are. Yes, they're all friends, but they don't eat what each other eats. Samir, sit up. Benjamin, sit up. All right, living on the edge. It says scoop on scorpions. Some scorpions have been around for millions of years. They haven't had to change much. Please stop moving your desk. Living dinosaurs. The Tuatara belongs to a group of reptiles that lived in... What did I just say? No. That lived in dinosaur times. Tuataras are one of a kind today. Sea survivor. People have found very old rock prints of sea stars. They look just like today's sea stars. Rhino rescue. People used to hunt rhinos for their horns. Huge efforts are now being made to prevent people from doing that. Picky pandas. Giant pandas eat only bamboo. As bamboo forests die, pandas have to change their diet to survive. They do not eat grass. New home. Whooping cranes have lost their habitats to farms. Now people are making safe places for them. conclusions. It says animals have special features such as flippers to help them swim. These help animals live in their habitat. Sometimes people copy their features. So we have a sea flipper. A sea flipper. It's a flipper, and we take fins, like when you're swimming, to help us swim. It says bears and birds have special features.
And those fins make you go fast.
All right, so what special? It said special feature that the bear has is their fur, and why is it special?
Because they can help them warm in the winter.
Helps them keep them warm in the winter. What do birds have that's a special feature that helps for
Wings.
the wings? All right. So, what is the invention that people made from a coat? A coat. It keeps us warm. The fur on a bear keeps them warm. All right. So, if a bird, the invention is an airplane, what's the special feature?
Wings.
Their wings. Very good. Alright. This go. Alright, so we are going to talk about a couple of different types of adaptations or survival things that animals do. Back to my image. All right, so we said one of them is camouflage. Nope, you'll be good without it right now. Come on, stupid thing. All right, it's camouflage. What does camouflage do? Camouflage. Alright. Alright. So it helps hide them. Helps hide animals from being eaten. From being eaten. Alright, what else does it do? Okay, a camouflage means like blend in. It helps them hide. Yep, right here. What else does it do? Jody?
Makes it hard for the image hard to see.
Okay, it makes them hard to see. It protects them. Okay.
They use it. Sometimes people use it as a trap.
Okay, they may use it as a trap. If the animal doesn't see that, if say an animal doesn't see that there's a tiger crouching in the back because it's blending in with its environment, it's camouflaged by its environment, then they could be in trouble. Like when you go hunting, you wear camouflage because you're blending in with the environment because you don't want to be seen. It's a trap for some animals. Okay, now another type of what adaptation to survive is called mimicry. Mimicry. All right. So the root word is mimic. Mimic. If you're mimicking somebody, you're copying them. And you copy what someone is doing. You're mimicking them. All right? Please stop. Thank you. An example of mimicry is some animals can make the sounds of other animals, like a mockingjay bird. A parakeet can make the sound of other animals. So make sound of other animals. Now, it doesn't just have to be sound. They can mimic how they act, their actions, how they look, how they feel. Like the octopus made itself feel, well, it made itself look orange, but it made itself feel like the plant. So if you're mimicking something, you're copying it. What, buddy? Yes, according to The Lion King, which is a animated movie. But we can't take that as certain because of what? What do we? They're giving it. It's personification, giving animals human-like features. Animals don't talk like that. Now, thinking of Lion King, the lions, one of their survival things is that they what? They hunt. They growl. Okay, but how do they get around? They stay in a what? A group. A group. Yes, ma'am. Yes, and that's a learned trait. She said she heard about a gorilla who learned sign language. Very cool. All right, we're going to take a break right there. We're going to go to the bathroom. Then when we get back, we're going to go into math.